Well, good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News. Breaking news here today. Frederick Brennan, the founder of the 8CH message board and all-around professional hater of our favorite Anon, has had some legal troubles that just popped up in the last couple days. He's currently absconding from the law, the Philippine authorities, and he is hiding out somewhere in the Republic of California. So joining me right now is going to be Methods and Neon Revolt. We're going to be having an exclusive conversation about what took place and why he's in this position, and we're going to be going over the reporting from Neon Revolt's website, neonrevolt.com, and the new article featuring the Frederick Brennan story. We'll see you guys there. When emergencies strike, there's always news stories about long lines of people and empty store shelves. Well, there's no need to be part of that chaos and the possibility of having to deal with FEMA food lines. Those that know what's coming are using today to prepare. You should make a plan too, and you can start by building an emergency food supply. I trust and use My Patriot Supply, and you can too. They're the experts in emergency preparedness and have guaranteed 2-day delivery. Disasters won't wait, and neither should you. This week, you can save $70 on a 2-week emergency food kit when you go to my special website, preparewithredpill78.com. My Patriot Supply food kits last up to 25 years in storage and include breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Order today and receive guaranteed 2-day delivery discreetly to your door. Take action so you're ready for what's coming and save $70. Those that know what's coming. All right, so joining me right now is a very, very special team of people. You know them as Neon Revolt and Methods, and we are here today to discuss the Frederick Brennan affair. Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing just fine, Red Pill. Thanks.
What's going on, Red Pill? Thanks for having us.
Oh, you know. All right. So, Neon, I couldn't help but reach out to you today after I saw your article. And apparently Frederick Brennan is on the run from the Filipino police. What's going on?
That's correct. He has been charged and a warrant has been issued for his arrest for cyber libel over in the Philippines. So they were pursuing him. Unfortunately, he has since fled the country and is now back in the U.S. Attempting to evade arrest. But unfortunately for him, he is perhaps in store for a whole new world of hurt.
Now, how did he figure out that he was being charged with this stuff? I mean, are they not as strict about the way they keep their OPSEC going over there in the Philippines?
Well, as far as I understand it, it was about 5 or 6 days ago. The indictment that had his name on it was unsealed, and he was made aware of it. I don't know if it was through official channels or through some back channel, but he was made aware either way, and that gave him a window of opportunity to flee back to the U.S. Before they were able to apprehend him.
Okay, abandoning his family and all of his personal possessions.
As far as I know, yes.
All right. So let's go over the specifics of what cyber libel means, because that's not a crime here in America, and if you're on social media, then you could probably make a case for cyber libel at any given point. So what exactly did Frederick Brennan do, and how did it make it illegal?
Well, like you said, cyber libel isn't a thing that really exists here in the U.S. We have much stronger freedom of speech protections, but Frederick Brennan was residing overseas in another country where he had to obey their laws. And in the Philippines, cyber libel is a crime that comes with jail time. So the principal complaint that was leveraged against him was that Brennan was repeatedly speculating on the state of Jim Watkins' mental health when Brennan is in no way a mental health professional, thereby libeling him in the process. And these were the charges that were brought before the court. The court agreed and decided to charge Brennan for this.
And what kind of punishment is there in the Philippines for cyber libel?
So in this particular case, as far as I understand it, Brennan faced up to 6 years in a Filipino jail for his what he wrote.
Do you know if there's a difference between jail and prison in the Philippines?
Not really. I mean, it's not what we would expect. From what I understand, they operate almost as little cities unto themselves, complete with economies, and you can rent a place to live inside the. It's like actually the closest I can estimate it to be is there was that Mel Gibson movie from a while back called, I think it was Get the Gringo.
Get the Gringo.
Where he spent time in a Mexican jail there, and it was like a whole little town.
Yeah.
And that's what I understand it to be like.
I was kind of thinking like maybe Mega City 1, too.
Yeah, in some respect, sure.
All right. So now Frederick Brennan is well known for being like the number one source for any hit piece on our favorite Anon. So this must have hit the mainstream media pretty hard below the belt. Have you guys seen anything that's come out as a result of this?
Well, I have for sure. As soon as this information broke out, immediately after I was made aware of Neon's article, we saw the New York Times cover it. Local news, it's big out there in the Philippines, covered it, and of course, Vice and others followed suit. So yeah, I mean, it was caught on quick. It was apparently a big deal, seeing as how Frederick has been a source for them throughout all their hit pieces on anything our favorite Anon related or Anon related, image board related stuff. So yeah, it happened pretty quick. It happened in the middle of the night here in the US when all this news started breaking and everybody woke up to the chaos. So it's definitely been interesting to watch.
Now, Neon, the cyber libel is not the only thing that is following Frederick Brennan, is it? You were able to uncover some pretty stunning documentation. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is stuff you won't find in the MSM at all because they're clueless halfwits who don't do their due diligence. But I was able to uncover chat logs that all but equate to an admission that Frederick Brennan was the one behind the early DDoS attacks against 8kun when it was trying to come back online. So everybody remembers 8chan went offline for a bit in the wake of it being deplatformed. The Watkins were struggling to get the reincarnated version 8kun back online and operating, and one of the primary disruptors to this was the DDoS attacks against 8kun. Well, it turns out in these chat logs, Brennan admits that he was the one funding it and coordinating the attacks. And he does it in a way that he thinks indemnifies himself by appending to all his statements, "Oh, I did this in Minecraft," as if that's clever, as if that would hold up in a court of law, as if everybody can't see through that. I call this the O.J. Simpson defense, because it's like, well, if I did do it, this is how I would do it. It's exactly the same thing. Anybody can go look at the logs, and it's just so apparent.
Well, he would do the same thing on social media anytime there'd be a new service that was going to, help out 8kun with their, be replatformed. He would just kind of hint and try to be coy about calling minions to reach out to these people and say, hey, 8kun bad, all this stuff to get them taken down. So, right. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Now, the question that needs to be asked right after that, obviously, is how, of course, the argument's already being made that your chat logs are the same as Jack Pacific's chat logs, meaning they're not, legit. How can you know that yours that you have available are legit?
I can say for a fact these are legit chat logs, and that seems to be the line that they're trying to run with now. Brennan himself has said, "Oh, these are fake logs," and I call him Gamma Mike Rothschild, has also seemed to insinuate the same thing. It's true. He's a gamma male. So many of these anti-Q grifters are. But no, these logs are the real deal. Brennan knows they're the real deal. And if they want to keep pushing that, I will gladly release the nearly 65,000 lines of these chat logs that I have on my hard drive. I will gladly publish those for the public to see for themselves. And also, I will say that the FBI has these chat logs too. The law enforcement is aware of this, so we're not the only ones tracking this. It ultimately, you know what? Believe me or don't believe me, I think the real deal will come into play.
Now, it should be mentioned that the activities that Brennan discusses in these chat logs is in fact a crime here in the United States. Isn't that right?
That's correct. No matter what country you reside in, the kind of stuff he was doing, the cyber crimes, are crimes in all nations, whether he's residing in the Philippines or the U.S. or wherever. So charges can be brought against him. He thought he escaped by fleeing from the Philippines to the U.S. He was not anticipating this information coming out against him.
Wow. Was there anything else that was revealed in those chat logs?
The primary thing that I can think of is the fact that he was using a minor proxy to do a lot of the dirty work for him. So he has this, I call him the second in command. It's really some teenage kid who he's brought on to do his dirty work so he can ostensibly keep his hands clean. Unfortunately for Frederick, the kid admits in the chat, hey, just point blank, no, in Minecraft added to the end. He's like, I was the one DDoSing 8kun. And you stitch it together. Frederick was directing this kid to do all these attacks. So
wow, how slimy. And is the identity of that minor person known to the authorities?
Indeed, he is. And I'll add that he has also been in trouble with a swatting incident in the past. So I'm sure the authorities will not look too kindly upon him when they come to question him next, unless he agrees to cooperate with the government's investigation into Frederick Brennan.
It would certainly be helpful. Maybe some LEOs in the audience can let us know if there's some additional charges that Frederick could receive as a result of corrupting this minor child into doing his bidding for him. Pretty gross when it comes down to it. Mm-hmm. Well, Methods, what kind of public response have you seen after this information has come out? I mean, how are people reacting?
Well, as far as people following, whether it be the movement that we're involved in, as far as covering information and making sure it's shared with everybody. Everybody's been kind of wanting for this to happen, not as a vengeance thing or anything like that. They've just been following what Frederick had been openly discussing on Twitter, doing and being proud of doing. And so there has been a lot of joy about, justice, pending on him about it. And of course, on the other hand, the mainstream media who has used him as, their poster child as to why 8kun and the Watkins family are bad, because with Frederick being the founder of 8chan, who then had no problem denouncing what Watkins was doing with his website, because the whole hit pieces and stuff happening against our favorite Anon, they've really made him look to be a hero. And all of this that Neon has broke, in the news overnight, and stuff coming out of all this really discredits their source, and it puts egg on their face. So they've definitely been doing their damage control. When you've got a New York Times and a Vice and, WAPO and all that really coming to the aid of him within an hour even of this news breaking, it lets you know that it was in their best intentions to keep their source in a good light.
It's even, I'll just add, it's even potentially worse than that. And I haven't been able to confirm this. I said this in the article. I haven't been able to confirm this, but I have a source that says that it goes so far as the Washington Post paying Frederick Brennan for all those interviews, articles, yada, 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 which potentially implicates the Washington Post itself in the DDoS attacks against 8kun.
Wow.
Again, I have not been able to confirm that. I hope I don't have to. I hope the law enforcement is keen enough and able to source stuff better than I am in this regard, and potentially bring any ne'er-do-wells to justice on that front.
Well, the timing of everything happening when he became, the spotlight of why 8kun is, bad and 8chan's bad and it needs to come down. A lot of people speculated how much bigger did his wallet get after the interviews, because he had no problem doing it. He was used across multiple platforms. Any hit piece that you see on mainstream media, you can safe bet that he will at least be referred to. And right. MSNBC even called him a source.
Right. Right. And he's big into crypto, so it wouldn't be too hard for one of these news agencies to pass some, Monero or Bitcoin underneath the table, make it that much harder to track. But again, records for these things ultimately do exist somewhere. So hopefully this comes to light.
Well, I think the thing that I am most excited about is the idea that, perhaps finally a criminal is going to get their day in court, because what he's done to the Watkins, what he's done to this website, certainly was criminal activity. And it's been far too long that people can skate by and just behave any way that they want to and not worry about having to face the arm of justice.
I had a funny thought today, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be funny if Frederick Brennan was the first unsealed indictment.
Yes. Oh, that would be glorious. All right. Well, listen, guys. Neon, I want to give you the first word, and then I'm going to give Methods the final word. What do you want to say to the audience? What do you want them to know?
Well, if you haven't checked out the article, make sure you do so. It's up on my website, and share it wherever you can, please. It's important to get this message out there because it goes. We didn't touch on the whole upcoming attack from Playboy. Mm-hmm. That's gonna sort of goes part and parcel with this, wherein it sort of sets the type too, because it's all these different media companies referencing Brennan and several of the other same sources to set the same tone, the same narrative. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see what Playboy's article looks like now that all their, comms and just the conversations they were having on the back end have come to light. Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll be able to pick apart the bias very easily. Absolutely. So I think it's very important everybody is aware of what's going on, and just help spread the truth. All
right. Excellent. And Methods?
Yeah, I just want to make sure, before we wrap this up, that even though, Neon's been covering this and we push this out and we're, even, joking to a degree about all these things happening, it's not about vengeance. It's not about having, going after somebody who attacked, Watkins or, Akun, where we hang out and all that stuff. It's about justice. That's the whole point of what this movement that we've been involved in has been doing. So it doesn't matter which side you are or whatever. He has broken laws. We have laid that out during this segment. And we just want to see justice served and, handled correctly and let him do his time and live his life and hopefully learn lessons. But with that said, yeah, this isn't about, firing back or anything like that.
All right, awesome. Well, I want to thank you both for joining us today. I appreciate the insight. And for the audience, you can check out the link to this article on Neon Revolt's website. It will be in the pinned comment below. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, bud.
Well, guys, I think that's all we have for you today. I want to thank Neon and Methods for stopping by for this special report. Thank you for watching as well. Don't forget about the contest. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers, and when we hit that mark, 2 lucky winners are each going to win a $200 gift card. Remember, you must like, share, subscribe, comment to join the contest, and I will pick 2 winners when we hit that special number. All right, guys, as always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. Hey guys, it's Red Pill. Just one more thing. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has taken the time to support this channel. If you'd like to see some ways that you can support the channel, you can always check the show notes in the pinned comment of this video below. Whether you like, whether you share, whether you make sure that your notifications are on, any way that you support this channel means so much to me. I could not be doing this without you, and I could not do it without your help. Without people like you, this channel would not exist, so thank you so much to everyone for all of their many means of support. Don't forget to check out the merchandise store that is also in the pinned comment, and I will see you guys next time.